to the bus, to the coach, approximately
We are going to the Winery Fundador.
11:45.
Okay.
Approximately. If you
This orange tree is only for decorations. You cannot eat it because they are very sour. And in the whole street in Jerez here, it's full with orange trees. But it's a shame that you cannot eat it because they are all full.
she's going to explain you everything about the world of wine.
Yay! I do hope that you find me lovely. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Well, first of all, let me tell you welcome to Fundador. We've just celebrated 150 years of history. I know we don't look that old, but we are in fact way older. Because, yeah, brandy is 150 years old discovery. But we have been making wine for the past almost 300 years, since 1730. I think you can see it here. Now I would like to welcome you to join me in this bodega, and may I give you an advice? We lose about €1 million just in evaporation. So when you enter, it smells nice, yeah? Mm-hmm. So, no further ado, let's go in.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go.
Good.
Wow, this is huge. A lot of barrels. Amazing. No, I can't record you, that's fine.
Yeah, you can find also us under Winery Fundador in Instagram.
En Instagram, Winery Fundador.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna, la voy a buscar.
Sí, muchas gracias. Si nos quiere postear o taguear.
I will.
You can touch it, but you only gonna touch the plastic. But to make a good brandy, you need to first make a very good wine. So, we start with the wine, of course. The barrel is made out of American oak, and this is, well, key to our success in brandy making. Are you hearing me okay? Should I get the mic off? I don't know. Okay, so whenever we're going to make the wine, I don't know if you ever bought a bottle of sherry. Mm-hmm. Yes? You see no year on the bottle. You see no year on the label. Well, that's because, as I like to say, we trust teamwork. So, let me explain. Sherry wines are called generous wine, vino generoso. That means that we add a little bit extra alcohol to them. That's why they're generous. But we don't do this straight away. We do this to the must. Must is about 11-12% alcohol, and it is just fermented grape juice. So a very young wine. In order for it to ferment, it needs to sit for 2 months in vats made of steel. So my question is, what should we drink during these 2 months of waiting? Well, if you say water, I will get really, really worried about you. Because if you only drink water when there's no wine, don't worry, we have a solution. We have this solera criadera system. As you can see, there's only 3 layers. There's no more layers. So, the first layer, the one at the bottom, is called solera. We call it like that because solera comes from the Spanish word suelo. floor or ground. From the solera, we're going to extract 200 liters. That is a third. So inside a barrel, there's around 500 liters, more or less. And we're only going to drink from the solera. 200 liters should be enough for 2 months. But don't worry, we have several barrels, so we can have 400, 600, whatever. Now, when I finish these 200 liters from the barrel, I realize I have a problem. I realize that I'm missing 200 liters. So I need to replace them. So I go to the middle layer. We call this one primera criadera, or first nurse, because it's going to nurture the solera, right? So I extract 200 liters and I put them back in. This is very good. This is a long process, but it takes a while. So once I realize that the second layer gives me the same problem as the third one, the 2 months of waiting are over. My grape juice is already moist, and I am ready to put them back in. So that's why you don't have a label. You don't have a year on the label, because there's actually not 1 year that I harvested the grapes. It's actually several years. Understood? Yeah. Kind of. It takes a while. I can explain afterwards in the tasting. A very particular thing about sherry wines is not only this fructification, but it's also that we have 2 different grapes. One is called Palomino Fino and the other one is called Pedro Jimenez. The Palomino Fino one gives us 3 different wines, and the Pedro Jimenez gives us only 1. So I'm going to explain this. The first that we have is the Fino. Fino has this film of flour. This flour is a yeast, similar to the one that we need to make bread or beer. So when I will fortify my Fino, when I fortify my must to make Fino, I will only reach 15% alcohol. Because in a more alcoholic environment, the yeast could die. And we don't want the yeast to die here. The yeast is protecting Fino from the oxygen. So we say that it is aging biologically, protected by a yeast, right? And what if I added more alcohol to the wine? Well, the yeast cannot survive, and I would have oloroso. Oloroso is between 16 to 19%. That is very high in alcohol. And of course, there's no yeast. So the color of oloroso is brown because it's oxidated, you know? It's like when you open an apple in half, it turns brown. It's oxygen just doing its business. But what if I want my Fino to last longer? I'm going to add the same alcohol so that I will kill the yeast, and of course alcohol is a very good conservative. So I will have what I like to call an in-betweener, because it's been Fino for a while and then it's been aging like the Oloroso for another while. I would call this one amontillado. Yeah, amontillado. These are all dry wines. For my sweet wine, I'm going to use a Pedro Jimenez grape. What I do differently is that when I collect the grape, I don't make grape juice straight away, but I let them lying on the sun for 2-3 weeks. Have you ever been in summer in Spain for 2-3 weeks lying on the sun? There's no need. They get dehydrated, so the sugar content increases. And that's how we get them to taste so sweet. We don't add any sugar. The only thing that we add to the wine is alcohol. It's very healthy. So So, where does this alcohol come from? Also from wine. It's wine spirit. So we're distilling white wine, young white wine, something that you could actually just drink. And when we distill it, we get a 65 to 77% alcoholic beverage. And that is what we use for our wine, and that is also the source of brandy. Look, we've been making sherry wine, as I said, since the 1700s. And, of course, we have been needing wine spirit since that year, right? So we did not only export our wine, but also the wine spirit. And we had great commercial relations with Holland. And one of the days, they decided to order 500 barrels. That is a lot. It's like 200 something liters. So we asked if they were sure. And they said, yeah, go for it. And we asked again, are you sure? They said, yeah, go for it. So we prepared it. We made so many liters of wine spirit. And then we sent them the bill. And when they saw the bill, they asked, are you sure? And we don't know exactly why, what was the reason, what exactly happened, but they didn't pay. So since they didn't pay, we did not send the 500 barrels of wine spirit. And you can imagine what we did with those 500 barrels, right? We forgot about them for 5 years, which is long enough for it to change. And it did not magically change. It changed because it had been aging in Oloroso casks. So this American white oak, this quality of the wood, allowed the wine spirit to soak in all of the flavor and aroma of the Oloroso into the wine spirit. And now we call it brandy. So that's why, because many people ask, that's why you're going to taste cream, which is a mix of all of them, but also brandy. Yeah?
Interesting.
So, I don't.
This is the place where we are going to try the wine. Beautiful. This is the Fundador Cherry Cask Fine Brandy. She was explaining how to get the brandy. We are ready for this. It's too early in the morning, but we are ready. Are you ready for the brandy?
No.
Yes? Are you ready for the
I don't like brandy or
You
sherry.
don't like brandy?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna try. Let's see.
I'm going to try it. But
What about you?
I like wine, but not brandy. I cook with it.
You cook with them?
Cook with brandy or sherry.
She cooked with a cherry.
Oh, nice.
That's all.
Let's see. This is the mini store here in the Fundador Winery. So you can buy anything you want about wine or brandy or whatever. Fundador. Also, you can buy some souvenirs like that's for cup. the best wine in the world 2016 by appointment to Queen Elizabeth II Cherry Supply here in Harvest, Jerez, Spain. Was a nice experience here in the Winery Fundador. They have like 150 years old since 1874. Was such a nice experience here in Jerez. I recommend it. We are doing this tour with the Celebrity Cruise Infinity, and nice experience. We try the brandy and the wines. Very nice.